Happy Halloween, everyone. It's Bling Queen here. So I'm going to talk to you about my pumpkins I made. They didn't come out as good as last year. I'm telling you that now. So don't be expecting too much. The people I have chosen is Farlarda, Lone, and Tyrone. Tyrone actually asked me to make his pumpkin about, I think it was last year in October, actually. I was like, well, I can probably make it next year. He's like, so I have to wait a year? I'm like, yeah. So let's just get right on into this. You can see that I draw my pumpkins first, and then I use a Sharpie. So this was Tyrone, and then I peeled him out. And he didn't come out too bad. He's okay. Then, of course, I like to traditionally write the names on the sides. So, I don't know, it's just a habit I got into, so I have to do it now. And for lighting up, I didn't go behind the pumpkin, go behind the picture and break it down with the comb like I would normally do to make it really light through. I really rushed with these pumpkins, and that's why they don't look as great. But let's move on to the next one. Uh, then we had Tyrone. No, sorry, Farlarda. Uh, a big problem with this is I just didn't have much detail to really go with, so I just kind of threw it together. And as you can see, there's my drawing there. So when I skinned it, that's what I call it, I kind of have an idea of what goes where, and I wanted a third kind of color, if you will. Like I have the skin, which would be its own color, and then of course the skinned part, which would be another color, and I try to make a third one to make it identify as red, but it didn't come out too well. This is like Swiss cheese, that's what it looks like. But again, there's the name right there. And his nighttime pumpkin didn't come out too bad either. I actually had my sister skin it for me in the back, where she took our pumpkin comb, I don't know what you want to call it, but she thinned it out in the back, and then the light shines pretty good through that. And I didn't do that to Tyrone, so I was like, oh no. Let's see. Next one would be Lone. You see here, he had a awfully big beak. I was going off of another picture of a humanoid frog. If you guys know what Chrono Trigger is, I was going off of this picture of Glenn, or Frog, whoever you know him as. And that's originally what I was going for, but in the next one you can see I took that away and I made it more like the frog mask. And again, it's difficult working with just two colors because his mask is green and the little scarf he has is red. But there's the frog mask with the peasant suit. And I had a very difficult time with Lone's pumpkin, and let me show you why. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing, I know. So when I pick out my pumpkins, I'm very specific in what I get, and they have to be fairly large pumpkins. I like taller pumpkins as well because it gives me a lot of space to draw on. And when I go to skin them, I like to have a lot of space to skin because smaller areas are just very difficult. So I picked up this really nice pumpkin, and it had a little bit of a bruise on the back, but it wasn't too bad. And I think I bought the pumpkins on like the 20th or the 15th. It was still early. I think it was a week before Halloween still, or maybe a little earlier. So even though it had a little bruise, I'm like, I don't think it'll cause that much damage until I actually start skinning it. So I picked this one out, and I had all the pumpkins light up in my car. Only problem was there was two pumpkins that wouldn't fit. So my idea was to buckle one of them up, and I did, and it happened to be Lone's pumpkin. I wasn't really paying attention to what one I buckled up, So the buckle actually made it a whole lot worse, and this bruise just grew and grew, and it was nasty. It was bad on the inside. There was like mold growing in there. It was not nice. But Lone's pumpkin sadly did not make it to Halloween. It was all smashed on the ground. Well, it's more decayed than smashed. That's not the right word. But there was just no way I could thin out his pumpkin, and there was just hardly anything left, so I couldn't put the light in there either. So this picture is the best I got for it. So like I said, this year's pumpkins just weren't that impressive. I didn't spend as much time on them as I had last year. But I'd like to show you a few other pumpkins that are very worthy of mentioning. Now, my husband made Cappy from Mario Odyssey, and my nephew, he made Mario himself. So these just came out really nice, and they're very cute. I had to throw them in the video. They're not in the songline, but I'll let them slide. And my sister made Cuphead and Mugman, and she even gave him giant straws. So yeah, that's this year's pumpkins. Sorry that they're not as great as last year's. Hopefully next year I'll do a little better. And when we're planning, I'm kind of a procrastinator, so I wait till the last second to do it. So alright, thanks for watching guys. Again, happy Halloween!